Lovely. Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is a project that we did at Caistor Roman Town, just to the site you can see just to the south of Norwich up there. It's a project that we did with the site owners, the Norfolk Archaeological Trust, Jam Creative Studios in Cardiff, and also Latin Now, an ERC funded project about the spread of Latin in the Western Roman Empire. As you can see, the site is it's a green field. Sometimes it has sheep in it, but not much else. And you can see the streets of the Roman town laid out there as marks in the grass. What we were trying to do was create an immersive experience that you could access through mobile devices in an open environment that has no infrastructure and a very variable mobile signal. So the idea was that everything that you were going to experience in your as part of this experience would be in your phone. So we wanted to evaluate how possible it was, see how users interacted with it and believed it, and look at some of the technical challenges of delivering this kind of experience in this sort of open landscape, because most of the archaeological sites in Britain are these sorts of open things. And also to use this to challenge people's perceptions of what Roman Britain was actually like.
Down.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go, brilliant. So we focused on the Roman Forum, and the reason we did this was twofold. It's an enclosed space, and what this would do was avoid the problem of recreating very detailed vistas stretching into the distance. And by about AD 300, the Forum would have been dirty, decrepit. It's largely falling down. From the excavations, it seems to have been full of rubbish. And this was quite a long way, I think, from the shining colonnaded vistas that most people expect from the Roman world. All our characters, our activities, everything in the experience was directly related to the archaeological evidence that we've discovered through 12 years of excavation and survey at the town. And we also had to think of what the characters within this experience would actually say. So we spent a lot of time thinking about Romano-British Latin that would have been appropriate to AD 300, which of course most of our users were completely unaware of the effort that we put into this, but nonetheless it was interesting. There we go. What we did was use a slightly cheating technology that Jam Creative Studios called Markerless AR. We used the phone's GPS to take the user to the location of the Roman Forum in the field, and then we asked them to scan the ground to collect buried artifacts. And what this actually did was use the phone's gyroscope, its camera, its accelerometer to position the forum in the right place and scale it properly for the reconstruction. So once people had found their objects, they could then enter the forum, and they would then meet a series of characters that would take them through a narrative within the forum area based around the different objects that they had found when they'd scanned the ground. And after that, they could then explore the forum freely. The responses that we've had so far on this have been extremely positive. And I think all of us were surprised at how immersive it actually was. That even though you were looking at a phone screen, you found yourself physically responding to the people in the people and objects in this forum. So people were stepping out of the way of the people that they were encountering. And after 15 minutes, you would look up and say, "Oh, yeah, we are still in the field." And I think even those of us who are very, very familiar with this site began to look at it in a new and different light. The challenges that we had were some of the classic problems of mobile experiences. Battery life and sunshine remained fundamental problems. Positioning was pretty good. It wasn't 100%, and it was reliant on the user not obscuring the phone camera, because if they did, then they would have to rescan, and then that would rebuild the forum in a slightly different place. And so if you tried to build a larger environment or do this in a more enclosed space, it might be an issue. But nonetheless, the possibilities of this seem to be endless, and people were extremely enthusiastic. And unfortunately, the main thing they asked us to do was, "Can you do the rest of the town now? Because we want to explore it." So looking at this and expanding it outwards, and also creating something that will make an off-site experience that can be integrated with the on-site experience, these may be areas for the future. Just to say, we also have some versions of this downstairs that will work on phones, that will work off-site. You need a forum-sized space to do it in, but if anyone wants to come and see us, we've got versions on phones, and we can go outside and have an explore of the Roman Forum, which we will erect just in front of this building. Thank you very much.